Hi Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading for this first week of January, 1st to the 7th. I'm Jennifer and thank you for joining me today. First, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. And at the end of this reading, if you feel that it has helped you in some way, if it resonates with you, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So as you can see, I have already laid out the cards, and the reason why I lay out the cards in the beginning before I start recording is because I really want to tune into the energies of the general energy of your sign, Aquarius in this instance, and to make sure that I have a really good idea of what the cards are trying to say before I start recording. Okay? So I am really doing my best to tune into your energy. I've pulled the Colette Baron Reed cards, the Good Tarot. That's what I'm using. I pulled a simple cross for this week's spread, and then we also pulled one card from the Medicine Woman Tarot deck. And then at the end of the reading, I'm going to pull one oracle card to round things out for you. So let's go ahead and jump into the reading. So the first card we have is the Page of Fire, and that's crowning your reading. This card speaks to dreaming boldly, taking inspired action, perhaps the beginning of something new. In the position of the present situation, we have the Two of Swords. So this could be that perhaps there's a pause in the action. Perhaps you're being called to make a decision about something. And maybe you're trying to weigh out whatever it is that you're trying to decide. Crossing that, we have the Six of Water, which is also the Six of Cups. This card talks about nostalgia, thinking back to the past. Sometimes those past feelings that come up for us can also cloud our judgment and perception of what is going on in the present. The next card we have, which is in the position of your hopes, dreams, perhaps fears, is the Death card, also known as transformation in this deck, or change. So this is asking you to let go of something, or perhaps there is something changing in your life that you don't have control over. In the foundation of your reading, we have the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Water. Now the foundation of your reading, what that really means is what's beneath you, your weaknesses, perhaps your old baggage, attitudes or behaviors that you could be carrying with you that could be holding you back. Now I thought to myself, why is it that this reading looks the way it does? And we pull the Queen of Cups in this particular position. Now this card usually, what it does represent is nurturing yourself, having compassion for others, pretty much being in touch with your feelings and being that motherly type figure. But if you notice that in this card, this woman's eyes are closed. Now, for me, what that indicates in this reading, in this particular reading, with the cards that are with it, is that maybe you have your eyes closed to something about yourself or about inside in your emotions. Okay? Maybe you're not really seeing things clearly because you see this woman's eyes are also closed in the Six of Cups. And since you're being either you'll be called to make a decision, or perhaps there's some decision that you've been putting off for a long time. And it could have to do with feelings. Perhaps feelings that you're not really letting yourself come to terms with. But I also feel that this card is in this position because it's saying that you do have that this person, these energies live within us all. Of course, this could also represent someone in your life. This could represent either a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces person, perhaps a man or a woman. It doesn't have to be that. It could also represent perhaps the mother or mother figure in your life. And it doesn't have to be a water sign either. It could just represent that person who was there to nurture you in your life. Okay? And perhaps, a lot of us have issues with our mothers. And being that we have the Six of Cups here with it, this could be either your own fears of being a mother, or perhaps the relationship with your mother coming into play a role in your present conditions right now. Perhaps, you know, ways that you learn to relate to others, or things that are not really letting you be that compassionate, nurturing person. There's something emotionally that is clouding your perception or holding you back, okay? In your recent past, we have the Six of Air. And this card talks about a rite of passage. It also speaks of perhaps coming into some kind of troubled waters and searching for calmer ones. It's like a movement, and because it's swords, this is an air card, okay? It represents either your thoughts or your words, the way in which you're communicating with others. Perhaps you had an argument with someone recently, or perhaps you're not really seeing eye to eye with someone right now in your life. Okay? And then in the outcome position, we have the Tower. Now, don't be afraid of the Tower, because a lot of times things that we are unwilling to face are going to come in and tear themselves down anyway. This card is also called the card of surprises in this particular deck. And of course, this deck is called the Good Tarot, so it tries to give a positive spin to things, which is not a bad thing. And it certainly does, you know, the cards itself are not going to create your future. You create your future. And what this talks about is making space for something better. So something else is going to be falling away in order to make space for something better, okay? Especially with this Death card here and the Tower. And this could very well be something that you have initiated in your own life. And this could also represent someone in your life. This is the Page of Fire, could represent someone younger than you. Perhaps it's a child. Perhaps it's an immature person in your life. And I'm just, give me a minute here to just look at this. I'm also seeing here, like, perhaps whatever this is that's come into your life, this either this problem or this way of thinking, or perhaps whatever it is that brought this Six of Swords, this troubled water, whatever it might be for you, okay? Because this is a general reading. You're basically in a position to either thinking about how to respond to this, and the card is asking you to sort of hold back and think about it before you move and charge ahead. Make sure you know what it is that you are saying, and you think about the consequences of your words, your actions. And either way, you know, whatever it is that you choose to, however you choose to respond or to react, and I think the cards are really, they're cautioning you to sort of not react and to respond to this, because there will be a big change coming from whatever it is, however you choose to respond to this particular situation in your life. Now, sometimes this can also represent things that are out of your control. Okay, so maybe, you know, you deal with this situation and then a surprise element rears its head. That could also be what the cards are saying. And it could be that you yourself are initiating this change in your life. Maybe you've had enough of something, and you deciding to take back your power. Because in this card, and actually you got this card, I believe, in your monthly reading as well. This card has a little tiger in it, and the moon is illuminating things. So With the moon there, illuminating things, sometimes you're not always seeing the whole picture, especially with your eyes, these eyes being closed here, okay? So make sure that, I think what these cards really want to say to you is that, you know, either perhaps you are choosing not to see something, or they're asking you to open your eyes. Or, because if you don't open your eyes, there's going to be an eye-opening situation to come in the future for you, in the not too distant future. Okay? Now, of course, this is a weekly reading, but these readings they're not contained into 1 week. These are just energies that could be setting the stage for what's to come into your life in the future. These energies can also be talking about what's going on for you now. And this is a general reading, so some Aquarians might have been going through something like this. Some Aquarians might be expecting to go through something like this. Or this may not resonate with you at all. It really just depends on... I'm sure that to some extent, I mean, there's always something to gain from these readings. So, let's now look at the Seven of Pipes in the Medicine Woman Tarot deck. And what this card is also called in this deck is Doubt Overcome by Action, Spirit Freed. Okay? So perhaps what you're really seeking is a sense of freedom. Okay? Especially with this is like I said, this is inspired action. And this card, while her eyes are closed, perhaps her eyes are closed, it can be seen in 2 different ways. Again, from what I see in your reading, I think that it's a time for you needing to open your eyes, especially with this card being in the past. But it can also represent like freedom, emotional freedom, being comfortable in your own skin. And perhaps that's what you are moving toward in your life, is being comfortable in your own skin and being comfortable enough to share that love and that nurturing part of yourself with others. Okay, so the prayer for this card is, I am able now to confront my fear of loss. Okay, and it's definitely talking about this death card here, because there is something that's going to create like a surprise or upheaval. And again, the Tower card doesn't necessarily have to be a negative change. It might appear negative at first, but it could be just a way of eliminating stuff that needs to go, that's got to go. Alright, I'm sorry, let me continue. In every creature, I find a friend hiding behind a mask of a beast, a mask I have created by my fear. I'm beginning to know this truth in everything of which I am frightened. I celebrate my success in coming to this realization. Now I face the fear of loss of what I have discovered. Yet I know wisdom cannot be held by fear, and I must let go once again. I release my spirit and the spirits of all I encounter. I let go of having and of losing and go forth dancing free. So, maybe you're being, you're in this place of indecision, because you're afraid of what it is that you might have to lose, or of losing in a particular situation. And this card is saying, you see how like they're dancing in this card? It's like, don't let the outer circumstances, whether you win or lose, to use it as a learning experience, so that you can gain that freedom of that inner dancing, that inner place of spirit where you just feel free enough to just be yourself and, be your quirky Aquarius self, and not be afraid of what other people are going to necessarily think, and don't be afraid to stop being a people pleaser. Okay, so let's go into a little bit more about this card. It's asking you to let go, and don't be content to rest on the past, but celebrate all that was and is to come. It's easy to become complacent and to cease to grow. The more you can appreciate your achievements and quickly free your spirit once again to go on, the less the world will have to challenge your position. So again, I think this card is saying, like, whatever these changes are, the more freedom that you can feel, the less this Tower card will have an impact on you in a negative way. This card is also saying that sometimes, you know, we get really competitive in our quest for, like, power, and people hold on to things stubbornly. And the card is asking you to move, to grow, and continue your journey of self-awareness and not become attached to one stopping point. So, like, if you gain something, or you feel like you have reached some level of awareness or success, that's not the end of the journey. It's just one more stepping stone towards something else. And just when you think you've reached, like, some pinnacle of success, that's when surprises can come in and jolt you out of your complacency or apathy. Also, this card, and I want to mention this because I know that we talked about being passive aggressive, and relationships was a big thing for you in the last reading. A temptation when your position is challenged is to become angry or vindictive. This is a misuse of the valuable energy that is coming to you now. Eliminate envy by always leaving something for the next person to step into, a gift of your having been there first. Your protection is your ever-expanding vision that comes to include the good of all. This is a shield against jealousy and greed, against the destructive nature of anything that would seek to overcome you. And remember, these are the only thing that can overcome you is your own inner feelings or way of looking at a situation. And the destructive nature is that jealousy, the greed, being vindictive. You have nothing to lose if you continue to develop your skills and attune your guiding vision, your view of the best possible world, and how you play a part in it. Your acts of devotion to your own form of sexual, creative, spiritual expression is all the rebel you will ever need to be. Set your spirit free. So overall, I think that this is a spread about your own freedom and freeing yourself of whatever it is that's going on in your mind, especially, you know, these thoughts that are not serving you and not letting you feel free. So we're going to pull one card from the Goddess Oracle, and then I'm going to close out this reading. So please give us one card for Aquarius for this first week of January. Please give me one card for Aquarius for this first week of January. Please give me the most beneficial card for this first week of January. Okay, that's the one that wanted to come out. We got Nut, Mystery. And the Goddess Nut is the goddess of the sky. She's the mother of us all. And I think it's interesting that came out because we're talking about mother here. So let's read what this book has to say, and then we're going to close out this reading. Nut, Mystery. Reach for me, touch me. I am always beyond your grasp. Don't try to figure me out, for you can't. I am the ever-present, unfathomable unknown. I am the immensity of the star-filled sky. I am beyond human comprehension. In the vastness of my being, I am a mystery, even to myself. Nut's twinkling, vast, dark vault stretches out in your life to remind you to open. Let me put it here so you can see it. To open to the mystery. Have you been planning every aspect of your life and left no room for mystery? Is your life wound up too tight? Are you trying to make everything safe by defining it, labeling it, knowing it all? Give way to the mystery, the unknowable. The wise woman knows there is much in the universe that will remain a mystery and leave space for it in the weaving of her life. And that says, the way to nurture wholeness is for you to trust that the mystery you let in will be exactly what you need for your journey to wholeness. So, I think it's interesting that this came up with the Tower card here, because the Tower speaks of surprises. And mystery, surprises, sometimes, you know, surprises are something that you can find out. Mystery, not so much. But basically, I think this card is just asking you to let go and to know that you're not going to know every detail of everything. And sometimes that's the beauty of life. You know, we're not going to know everything. And I think as an air sign, sometimes, because I'm also an air sign, I'm a Libra, we put more emphasis on our minds and our thoughts. And being that 2018, the vibration is 2, it is talking heavily about relationships in this year. That's going to be the vibration. So, you know, relating to others, we also have to allow ourselves to open up a little bit more emotionally and to be more compassionate with others and to let go of that. You know, it'll be a lot easier for you to relate to others when you let go of that vindictiveness and that anger. Or perhaps to let go of toxic people in your life as well. Okay, so I do hope that this reading has helped you in some way, Aquarius. Again, I ask you to please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if this reading has helped you in some way, has brought insight, hope, or healing into your life. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Thanks again. Take care and Happy New Year. Thanks.